Hi, we're Quentin Curious Williams. My name is James, and today is a Tuesday. Some people call it a Tag Tuesday. I don't, but I'm going to do a tag anyway. I've been tagged by Kevin Toll of the BookTube channel Kevin Toll Reads, and Kevin does a lot of videos. He does a lot of tagging, but he and I are this. Did you know he and I are the same height? It's true. So I'm going to do this tag. This is the Dog Books, the Dogs Tags Book Tag, which was an original tag created by Paul of Geeks Love Dogs, and I'll link his video below. There are 9 prompts. Number 1, or K1, get it? Playful Pup, a lighthearted fun book. This, I'm going to say, The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. I read it a couple of weeks ago. Nothing of any consequence happens in it. It's a bunch of amusing misunderstandings and a completely absurd ending. A lot of clever people saying Oscar Wildean things. You'll enjoy it. K2, Pill in the Peanut Butter. A book you thought you'd love but didn't. And this is a reference to sometimes if you are a dog owner, you have to give your dog a pill and they don't like to take a pill, so you have to hide it in some food. Louise, my miniature poodle, is almost 14, so I have had to give her several pills in her lifetime. I usually don't have to hide them in anything. I can just stick my hand into her mouth and put it all the way at the back, and she'll swallow it. I don't know if I'd be quite so blithe about it if I had a Rottweiler or something like that, but it's okay for Louise. So a book you thought you'd love but didn't. Unfortunately, I have to say The Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. I understand why people would like it. It didn't appeal to me. I found myself very impatient reading it with all the talk about humans. Get to the octopuses. That's what we're here for. Everybody knows it. Nobody's saying it but me. K3, Puppy Dog Eyes, a book that pulled on your heartstrings. And for this, I'm going to say another. Most of these are recent reads for me The Mind Reels by Frederick DeBoer. This is a very short novel about the experience of severe mental illness. It's basically the story of a young woman who begins to suffer from the effects of bipolar disorder when she's a college freshman, and the various ways in which she deals with it and the people around her deal with it, the effects that it has on her life and her prospects. And it is quite affecting, and it doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't romanticize. So that was quite affecting to me. K4, Loyal Companion, a character that would complement your life and personality as a companion and friend. So I presume this has to be a human of some kind. And I'll just say Conseil, the assistant to Professor Aronnax from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Conseil is a Belgian, as all good assistants are. He speaks multiple languages. He always seems to be a step ahead of things, and is willing to put his life on the line for his friend. K5, Chasing Your Tail, a book you inexplicably keep returning to. I'm not a big rereader, but I have reread The Dubliners by James Joyce more times than I think anything else. Why? It's not a pleasurable book to read. I'm not Irish. I've never been to Dublin. I don't understand a lot of the things that go on in it. But for some reason, it's always a thing that I can open up and read something in, and I don't know, do I get anything out of it? Everyone in it seems to be quite miserable, but yet it's an enjoyable read for me. K6, Go Walkies, a fictional location you'd like to walk your dog through. So it's a fictional location. So the location that I picked out is from a book that I was not crazy about, which was Days at the Morisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa. Now, this is a novel that is set in modern-day Tokyo, in a neighborhood that is called Jimboshi, which has a lot of used bookstores. And our protagonist gets a job working at a bookstore owned by her uncle, and she lives upstairs from it. The uncle also has an ex-wife who shows up in the middle of it and becomes friends with the narrator. And the two of them, the aunt and the narrator, go on sort of a weekend expedition out to the country. They take a train out, and they hike up to a little inn, and then they stay there, and they take a bath, and then they go up to this old temple. And this is all a real place, and it seemed like a rather idyllic place, location to go to. Louise likes to go on a walk still, not a very long one. I don't think they go for it. It's not a particularly strenuous hike. So, I would like to do that. But it's supposed to be fictional, and I didn't realize that. And I can't think of too many fictional locations, so I'll say Paradiso from the book Paradiso by Dante. I would walk through with my dog, all that weird stuff going on. Louise wouldn't care about it, but okay, let's see. K7, He's Got Fleas, a character that irritated you to no end. So another recent read for me. It was an audiobook, and possibly this heightened my irritation. But I listened to the audiobook of Seduction Theory by Emily Adrian, and it was narrated by Jennifer Pickens. One of the characters is, I think, a 5-year-old boy owned by the English department secretary. It's her son. Named Byron. And this kid was so annoying. He wasn't naughty in particular. There was nothing necessarily bad about him. He wasn't supposed to be a bad kid. He was just so, every time that Byron voice came in, my hat is off to you, Jennifer Pickens. I couldn't stand this kid. Okay, K8. Best in show, favorite fictional canine. I don't think any fictional canine is better than my miniature poodle Louise. I will point out that Mephistopheles in the book Faust by Goethe originally presents himself as a black poodle. But probably, I think one of my favorite fictional dogs is Einstein from The Watchers by Dean Koontz. And I often think Einstein, is a golden retriever. And I often think about this one scene where Einstein is a genetically enhanced dog who's super intelligent. And he somehow gets adopted by the protagonist of the book, who's kind of an embittered veteran. Of course, being a dog, the dog kind of opens up the protagonist, and there's a thriller. It's a thriller. There's some monster chasing them. I don't know. But there's a scene where the protagonist and his lady friend are canoodling in the back of a Winnebago, and Einstein is sitting up front reading a magazine. I love to think of this golden retriever sitting in the front seat of a Winnebago, paging through Time or something. Okay, let's see. Pick your pack. Tag your pack. So I'm going to tag some people in the comments below. Thanks for the tag, Kevin Toll. This has been a pretty fun tag to do, especially if you're a dog lover. Here's my little dog, Louise. She's having a little nap. Okay. It's not fair. She doesn't post videos of me sleeping to the internet. Why am I doing that to her? Sorry, baby. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.